Hey guys, it's Tarek with Cyclone FPV. Right now I'm putting a real quick video together to help out a couple customers on connecting the FlySky FS-i6 transmitter to the FlySky 18 channel iBus receiver. I know there's not much documentation on it out there and it really doesn't take very long, so I thought we'd go ahead and cover it real quick. Yeah, David, I know I'm looking at it right now. I just had noise in the background, and anyways. So anyway, what we're gonna do now is I'm trying to set everything up on the bench real quick, and I'll kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at here and see if this is gonna be helpful at all. First thing is I just took a regular board and I'm gonna switch cameras here. So here's a regular board. I just grabbed a used F3V4. And I've kind of temporarily just put a quick connection there to show these to show the picture here. Sorry, I'm trying to also get something else done here at the same time. So it's going to be a small delay while I get this done. Bear with me 1 second, and that should do it. Okay. All right, I think that'll work. Okay, so what you can see on the table here is we've got the F3V4, and what we want to do is, this is the receiver, and what I've done is I've just hooked up some quick wires. I've got the box here to turn on to give it power. So here's what we're going to do. The first thing is I'm going to show you how to bind. So in this case, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab your receiver, and you'll find your bind button here, right here at the top on the other side of the antenna. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down, and while I'm pressing it down, I'm going to go ahead and flip the power on. Okay, and what you're going to see is a fast blinking light, right? I'm going to try to move this out of the way. So I've got to be careful here because the way I've got this power hooked up, if I move this, it kind of seems to jolt a little bit. So let me do that again real quick. Let me get started again with this one. So we're going to hold the bind button down, flip the power on. We've got our fast blinking light. You can see that. Now let me kind of zoom out here, because I need to get the transmitter on as well. So here's a transmitter, and let me see if I can fit all this on without shorting anything out. Okay, so on the transmitter side, what you're going to do, let's see if I can get this thing to kind of sit still. All right, so here we go. So I think you could still see the light binding there or blinking quickly. Sorry, it's kind of a pain to fit all this on here. I'd like it to sit still though. So 1 second, let me see if I can arrange this so it sits still. All right. That should be okay. All right, so we've got the blinking light, right? And it's a fast blink. Let me see if I put this right here. Maybe it'll stand. There we go. All right, so we've got a fast blink right there. And now here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold the bind button down, and we're going to flip it on, right? And your transmitter is going to say RX binding. The light is going to start blinking slow on this side. And at that point, go ahead and unplug the power or your LiPo. So here I'm going to just turn it off. Okay, and as soon as it turns off, I'm going to go ahead, and there it goes, and now I'm going to stop the radio from binding, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and turn, or you would in this case plug your LiPo back in, okay? And you're going to see a slow blinking light, and then I'm going to turn this on, and now I've got my solid light, and I am bound to the receiver at this point, okay? And that's pretty much all it takes to get this bound to the receiver, all right? Now what we're going to do is, from here, I'm going to get this over to Betaflight, and kind of make sure everything's interacting properly, and then show you what to do from there. So if you'll give me a second, I'm going to put this in a, I'm going to put a screen up here that just says the video will begin back shortly, and we'll do that real quick. So bear with me, and we will be back on here in just a second. I'm just going to let the camera run while I move this over. All right, so be right back. Okay, so now we're in Betaflight, and if you give me 1 second, I'm going to turn this around. Okay, so here, sorry, I just had to get everything situated. So now we're in Betaflight, right? And let me put this right here, to about right here. That'll make it easier. Okay, so you can see on the screen here, we've got Betaflight going. I'm going to go ahead and make the screen full size. So bear with me 1 second. I just got to get set up. I kind of doing this part at the last minute, so the desk wasn't really set up for this, so I've just got to get some things set up here real quick. And let me see. Okay, let's see what we've got going on. All right, I'm just sorry. You got to give me 1 second here. I apologize for the delays. But what I'm going to do now is, I'm actually the Mac that I'm on is restarting real quick. Should be in here in just a second. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect your stuff to Betaflight, and then from there make sure that the receiver is being seen properly. The idea of the video was just to bind, but I kind of feel like we might be falling short there of what we need to do. So let me go ahead and log in here to the Mac. And let me go ahead and grab the rest of this stuff. Okay. All right. Now, let me put this camera here so I can see you guys. And we've got our controller, and the machine's almost fully booted. And it looks like we're back up and running here. So we'll close this down. And let me go into my iRemote into a PC to use Betaflight, which is the PC sitting on the desk next to me. So bear with me a second as I get that set up. And let's see what we got here. Done. All right, let me make sure that we have everything working as normal. Be just one more second. There we go. Let's make an adjustment here. Okay, perfect. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump into Betaflight here, and I'll show you my screen here in just a second. I'm sorry, it always takes a little more to sign up, and I did not do that. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, bud? Just trying to get this, rushing to get this computer configured real quick so I can get live. So let's see if that does it. There we go. All right, so we're in Betaflight now. I'm going to go ahead and connect to my receiver first. And let me make sure we've got everything done on here that we need to. Let me go to my ports. So you are using UART3 for this. And I'm going to go ahead and I have to give the board some power here. I haven't done that yet. So let me go ahead and give the board, like you're plugging in your LiPo basically. Let me just go ahead and get that wired up. Takes a second here with this battery supply. Get it connected. And this should be up and running here in a second. All right. Perfect. Okay. And then let me go now and see, because I have to change the old settings. So let me go back and change this out. Receiver. Make sure we are bound. Okay. And I have to do some, I was going to do some firmware update on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that just yet. So let me just check real quick and make sure that I can. This may, because I'm kind of doing it at the last minute, this may require a, I don't have the drop down here. So let me go ahead and see if I can get a firmware update real quick. I don't know what version of this I am running. So let me get back in here real quick. 3.2.4. All right, so let me just disconnect. Let me do a flash. And by the way, you're going to want to do this. I know this is for the whatchamacallit, the do-it-yourself on the Diablo M, the version 3. So want to make sure that you're going to have to do this anyway. So this is how you're going to flash this. I actually just was in the middle of doing this and didn't pay attention to what I saw here. So give me 1 second. Again, just to make sure we should be using spacing, and we are. So we're going to go ahead and do a firmware flash on that. Let's see, spacing F3. So you're going to go to your spacing F3, and then you can go to 3.5. I think that'll be fine. And then load your firmware. Let me turn this receiver off. It's all it's doing is making noise. It says downloading. I don't know why there's a delay. It seems to be moving kind of slow, but there we go. We're going to flash it. Now on mine, it'll continue the flashing here. We're going to go ahead and do our update. And here, let me show you. Okay, so while it's doing the update, this is what you're going to need to do. So make sure to do your update on the firmware, especially if you've ordered one of these kits, because they usually come direct. Like I have them packaged already from the manufacturer, and I have not flashed them. But I'm going to see if I can get this there. That should be easier. Okay, so we're in the middle of flashing right now. You can see the progression bars going. And we're just going to give it a minute, guys. It should be done here in just a second. All right, good. Well, I'm doing mine because these came off of systems that we had here for testing, so I haven't done any of the flashing or firmware updates, but I want to make sure we're running the same. So give me just a second. I'll make sure that it's set up to be just like yours. Let me open my other page real quick. All right, it's almost done. Verifying. Okay. So now let me go and connect. Okay. Let me go. Give me 1 second. I need to click around here for a few other things. Just let me see. Where is this? Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at another page here for something else I need to get done. All right. So obviously go to your ports. And it's going to be on UART3, okay? So just go ahead and activate UART3 on that one and click Save. Go ahead and turn the receiver on here. Make sure we got a solid light, and we do. So let me go to my configuration here, make sure that my updates. Okay, select iBus. So make sure you go to your, on your receiver, on receiver mode, select the serial based and then select iBus. Now on mine, I'm going to turn the rest of these off. Obviously these are not part of the system. Let me go ahead and save and reboot. And I've got mine set a little differently here. All right, so basically this is where you're at, and this is what you're waiting to see happen here. So for those of you running iBus now, depending on how you're going to do this, you're either going to use your iBus or your sbus. Either way, all right. So you would connect it this route, and you should then be able to. Now I've got to get mine configured. I don't have my receiver or anything else configured yet, but then you would have movement here. So if you're running your iBus, you'll set it as such, and I hope that helps. I'm going to make this a real quick video because I want to get into the configuration of it. And you should be set at this point. If you have any issues with this, let me know. But at this point, if you're running the FlySky, then you're going to use your sbus, and you can use your iBus for the FlySky. Get your settings set, and then you'd be able to configure. There. So, okay, so that's basically the setup. And so the binding, I know you said now you got a solid red light, so you should be set with that. I'm going to stop the video here because I'm going to make another one real quickly on the actual configuring of the flight controller with your particular quad. So I don't want to run them together. So give me a minute and I'll be back in touch with you guys. But for right now, that's how you set up the FlySky on the F3V4 HGLRC board. And I'll be back here with some more updates soon. Okay, I'll talk to you later, guys. See you later. Bye.